I
Okay.
guess.
You're live.
Right. Hi, all of you. Very nice to see that the cat is finally over. And now you have a lot of analysis to make, more important to start with, and also more importantly, look forward to the next 1.5 months for other exams, and maybe 2.5 months for your GDP kind of things. So I'm going to use, in fact, I can do a lot of these analysis, but I'm going to ask you whatever questions that you have, please let them keep coming in on the chat window so that I can start looking at what questions that you have, what cutoffs are required for any of the IIMs, what scores will get you, what kind of percentiles, and a lot more as we go along, right? So Jayant Kadu has said hi. I would like to say hello to you too, my friend. And feel free to ask any questions that you have, so that this particular session live will give you a lot more clarity of what you should be working around than anything else. Rudra is saying that I am attending all Arks sessions since the morning. Rudra, I've seen your scores. I am telling you, you would do a fantastic job, Rudra. Absolutely sure of that. So make sure that you are, preparing for the PDP, what we call it in the CL parlance, making sure that your interview preparation is absolutely up to the mark. Okay, now that not many questions have come in, at least at this stage, what I will do is something very, very simple. Let me start off with telling you what will be and how. I have just made a little bit of an analysis on the slots, and here is what it looks like: the most difficult and the most easy. If I look at a VARC, if I look at DILR, and if I look at the QA, and if I can look at something like this, I just want you to see this. I think difficult, or number one difficult level, D1, D2, D3, I'll call it, in the levels of difficulty level. In VARC, S2, the slot 2 was the most difficult, then S1, then S3. When you look at DILR, it was S1 was the most difficult, S3 was the second, and S2 was the third or the least difficult. When I look at QA, almost I'm making a DI paper itself, S3, S2, and S1. This was the level of difficulty level, the highest level of difficulty to the lowest in terms of these three slots itself, the three slots, and for these three exams. This is what it appears to when the first set of data has come into us. It's almost like a poll that we have done, and trust me that there will be not too much of a change in that, because this also corroborates with information that we have got from all the people, all our faculty members in Career Launcher who have written this exam. Okay, so Abhishek Handa is straight away. Yeah, Abhishek, I will come back and give you 99.6 percentile. I told you what it will be, but I'll come back to you in a few most in the next few minutes, I said. Anurag Mishra is saying S1 most difficult in DILR. Kaise Malik? Hey boss, you have cracked it does not mean the rest of the world has cracked it. What I am saying is, with respect to, let's say, 65,000 people writing the exam and looking at slot 2 and slot 3, it is a comparative thing, Mr. Anurag Mishra. So unless you have seen all the three, you would not be able to comment on that. What I am doing is actually having seen all the three on a broad basis, and more importantly, collecting the data from the students. This appears to be the right pecking order in terms of the difficulty level. Okay, now one other thing that I'm going to talk about as all of you would like to ask, is, hey, what will I need in 99.6 raw score? Now, this is important because raw scores can change because there will be a kind of either a scale up or a scale down, depending on whether the slot was easy or difficult for you. So I'm going to give you some numbers here. 99.6, where I am Calcutta, Bangalore, Ahmedabad kind of can come in. 99 percentile, 95 percentile, probably a 90 percentile. Now, I don't want to hazard a bigger guess than this, but it's important for you to for me to give you this, that if you look at overall scores, 99 will be somewhere between 95 to 96 marks. These are marks, which means to say a 99.6 could be as low as 105 and 106. As low as 105 and 106, not more than that. It could go up to 108 or 107 in one section, one slot, and 103, 104 in one other slot in terms of the raw score. But if I look at the overall, this is what it appears to be. 95, this is something very, very interesting. This could be as low as 75, 76. Which means to say there is going to be a significant drop between 99 and 95. And 95 to 96 also, there will be another 62, 63 or a 13, 14 mark drop. This, according to me, is going to be the kind of an overall score required for this particular CAT 2021. There will be changes in each of the scores, each of the slots. But if I were to kind of do a scaling, this could be one of the possible scores as far as this CAT is concerned. So Abhishek Handa, there you go. I've given you the scores that you wanted always. Any other questions that you can come out with, my friends? I'll again, as I said, will be very, very happy answering the same thing. Okay, now let's also look at a couple of other things. Now that we have talked about this, let me also take you to VARC. Let me also take you to DILR and QA in the three sections here. Now, what I mean by this is very, very straightforward, and I'll kind of explain this also. Okay, here we are. You guys can see it, I'm sure, on screen here that I am showcasing. If you look at VARC, the 99 percentile could be between, okay, I'll have to just give me one moment. What I'll do is I'll just do a share once again of the screen. So if I look at DILR, a VARC, the 99 percentile will be around 35 to 38 marks in almost all the three slots, give or take 2 marks this side, that side, more so the other side. But 95 will be therefore much less than this, somewhere around the 29-30 range itself. And 90 could be around the 24-25 range. And 99.6, this could be about 45 to 47, 48 range. This is your VARC. Again, I have also compared this with what happened in CAT 2020, and that's where it looks like the overall scores. DILR, this is again coming down to, in all the three slots, plus or minus 3 marks for the slot 3, 28 to 30 will be a comfortable 99, and 22 to 23 will be a comfortable 25, 23 to 24 maybe, and 21 to 22 or even a 20 will be a comfortable 90 percentile as far as the DILR is concerned. Obviously 99.6, somebody would have done something like 14 questions or 42 marks is not unheard of. A lot of people have done this. 99.6 maybe will touch at 42. The last one is quantitative section. 99 percentile, according to me, for quantitative will be around 35, 36. This will be not true for slot 1, slot 2. Slot 1, I expect that 99 will be around 42. Accordingly, 99.6 will be close to something like 39, 40. And in slot 1, it will be almost like 47, 48. Because there were so many easy questions. 15, 16, very, very straightforward, easy questions in slot 1. And the 95 percentile will again be in the 25, 27, 28 range, or the 23, 22 range, 22, 23 range for the 90 percentile. This, my friends, is the overall scores that one can expect for CAT 2021, given that we are on the first day, first show in terms of giving you the overall percentiles as you require, right? With that, let me ask a lot more questions that you might still have, my friends, and then maybe I can take questions as they come. I solved only 4 questions in QA in slot 2. What percentile one can expect? So Raja, I cannot answer that question, because if you have answered only 4 questions also, I really don't know whether you got all the 4 right. If you have got all the 4 right, you might just about get that 50, 60 percentile too. 99.9 percentile Vaibhav, probably around 120 marks will be the one I would look at it. Priyank Kishore, slot DI, could solve only 3 questions. I'm a little surprised, Priyanka Kishore, because a lot of people did score well in the slot 3 of DILR, frankly. Satyam Pandey. Hats off, sir, not getting exhausted or tired after so many sessions in a single day. Satyam, this is the day we work for. I hope, to be honest with you, it's not tiring. It's not that it's untiring. It's just that you guys are waiting. Whoever is waiting, even one student is waiting. It's always nice to make sure that he or she is taken care of. Thank you, Satyam. So, Akshay, the way I said it, in what happens is, in VARC, Akshay Tiwari, slot 2, you will get a scale up. You will get a scale up in your in your marks. Whereas in DILR, you will probably get a scale down. The reverse. You will get a scale down in VARC and a scale up in DILR, because S3 was easiest. And in QA, probably it will be again a scale down by a small margin. Once again, what I'm saying is, when you add all the 3 raw scores for each of the sections, if you get all the 3 raw scores in each of the sections, I think you will probably get equivalent scores. At least the overall does not change for all the 3 slots. The very, very interesting thing about the CAT, what they have done is, they have ensured that if one slot is difficult, VARC is difficult in one slot, that they have made moderate level difficult and easy in the other 2 slots. And for the same cycle got continued for QA as well as DILR. So 8 questions, getting all the questions right, Manjunath, would be a good score. That's the way I look at it. Rudra, I think the answer key should be happening in 2-3 days max. We are also coming out with some of the questions which we already got for quantitative ability, because that was the easiest to do. We will see that coming up tomorrow, but the actual response key can come in a couple of days max. So the VARC of slot 2 was probably the most difficult one, Manish Chandra. AKT is asking, I solved only 6 questions with 100% accuracy in slot 3. Will I clear sectional cutoff? 6 3s are 18. 18, if you get all the 18 marks, you will cross the 75-80 percentile required for many of the IIMs for sure. Lucky Deshmukh, when can we get response sheet? 3 days is what I am expecting maximum. Manjunath, I told you this answer. Rahul Agarwal, what about normalization in slot 1? See, what happens in slot 1 is, since the QA was the easiest, it will get scaled down. DILR, because it was according to the numbers, it's the toughest, it will get scaled up. and for VARC, it will remain the same. Virat Kohli is asking me this question. What should be the strategy for ZAT now? So first thing is, as far as ZAT is concerned, if you are looking at Career Launcher, we are talking about 8 mocks to be given to you, 8 full mocks, out of which 3 will be countdown ZAT mocks. Please make sure that you write these 8 mocks. The interesting thing about ZAT is you will have a lot more time than you had in CAT. The number of questions will be less, but the available time will be almost 165 minutes for a 70-75 question paper, which means if you really select the sets correctly, and there is going to be decision making, which is even not at all time consuming, but very tricky. If you do it correctly, I think you will be able to do a fantastic job. Now, here is what I would like you to do, therefore. Over the next 25-30 days, every third day or fourth day, take a ZAT paper. Focus majorly on the verbal part of it, because that is what scoring paper is. But at least look at all the past decision-making papers. Decision-making, if you don't get the minimum cutoff, and understanding the XLRS way of giving marks, unless you are able to do that, you may not get the desired marks. So please make sure that your decision-making is taken care of. In the quantitative section, there will be questions on probability. There will be questions on slightly of higher maths in quadratic equations, etc. I think it might be a good time to kind of go and revise them. Sachin is asking how difficult it could be next year. Frankly speaking, Sachin, the paper CAT has been very, very similar all these years. So I can again predict, given whatever information that I have for the last 21 years, the next year also, whatever the number of questions may be, around 50% of the mark will get you a 99 percentile. Only 50% of the mark. You know why it is not difficult? If you just keep your calm, if you just keep your calm and not get overwhelmed that this is a CAT exam, not consider that this is the be all and end all of life, I think it's much more easier to kind of crack this exam. Raghu Vamshi is asking, what is the ideal score for getting a 90 percentile in slot 3? My bet is around close to 62 marks, 62 to 63 marks would be decent enough to get a 90 percentile. Durvesh, sir, how does calculate percentage for students who have done diploma instead of 12th? All semesters or only final year? Typically, all semesters are considered, because if they consider that for 11th and 12th, they will also consider that for all the exams that they consider for their selection, in definitely including the diploma. Venkat Sai V. Okay, Venkata Srikar. After CAT, what can we do for IFT this week? How to utilize for GK? So Venkata, first and foremost for IFT, at least take 2 or 3 mocks without fail, because 3 mocks will be good enough to get you a hang of the pattern. And since it's going to be only 1 week from now, that is on next Sunday itself, I think you will get into the rhythm. Second, the important thing about IFT GK, the very important thing about IFT GK is that the cutoff for GK will be an abysmal mark. So don't unnecessarily attempt if you do not know anything. 3 to 4 questions, 3 to 4 marks actually will be more than sufficient to get you through the cutoff. And that is a very important thing. So I would like you to kind of put that as an idea before we understand that as an idea when you are preparing for IFT or going for this IFT exam. Result date deeply dance will be around Jan 8th to be precise, but the date can come in if you submit the response sheet to careerlauncher.com/cat. We will be able to give you the percentile almost to the last decimal because of the kind of an algorithm that we use for the last so many years. Virat is asking again, I don't know which Virat Kohli this is, but he says 11 level in slot 3 and my birth is also 11, my computer number also 11. Congratulations, Virat. Ansh, which section was easiest in slot 3? In slot 3, the easiest section was the VARC section as compared to the other 2. Rohit Bidhi Yasser, sir, 90 marks in slot 2 Will it get FMS call for OBC engineering? 97, 96, 94 and 6.5 profile. Rohit, 90 marks can get you close to a 98.5. Since it's an OBC, if you really do get the 90 marks, you have a very, very good chance of making it. You will have a very, very good chance of making it. Thanks, Virat. Gaurav saying, sir, what would be the ideal score to clear QA sectional cutoff in slot 1? QA sectional cutoff in slot 1 might require close to an 18 marks to clear the 80 percentile cutoff. Nishant Mittal is asking which LRDI was the toughest. According to me, S1, the slot 1 was the toughest. That is according to me. I'm saying so because I have written that, but also I have seen what others have done for slot 2 and slot 3. Then one thing, Venkata, what are the topics to focus in GK? GK in IFT will be a lot more to do with either external, internal, export, import business, the economy, and also the current affairs, which is very, very important. You may want to know about what's happening with the GDP, the per capita income, all the economic indicators as such, and any economic decisions that have been taken by the government of India. I think it will be very, very useful to go through. John, I think it will be 120. Sir, CAT didn't go well, very demotivated. What to do? Amish, the only thing I'll tell you is there is an IFT if you're writing that. There is a SNAP if you're writing that at least, or a ZAT. There are 2 days to go for the ZAT final, last date for ZAT. So please go ahead and apply to that. You have 1 month to go. Lots of people will give up studying at this stage. In fact, lots of people think that CAT is over and their study is over. This is the time to get up. This is the time to kind of step up so that there are other exams which you can really, really crack. The second thing I can tell you, and very strongly at that because of the last experience that I have, the past experience that I have, is there is absolutely no correlation between what people do in ZAT, CAT, IFT, or any other exam for that matter. In fact, I know that a lot of people who have done badly in CAT have done extremely well in IFT and Excel and gone to the best of the institute. Similarly, there are people who have done very well in CAT and have probably not done well in the next few exams, simply because they kind of get very, very complacent. If you are one among them, I would say, please don't get complacent at all. Don't get complacent at all. Second thing is not just about that. There is a PDP coming up, the personality program or the interview program that we help you also, and everybody has to put in their effort to be ready, because that is going to cost you, or that's going to kind of be 50% of your final selection as far as the IIMs and other institutes are concerned. So there is no letting down your guard right now. There is no giving up at this stage. Amish and everybody else, just make sure that you kind of continue giving the right kind of impetus to your preparation without fail, right? Last year I had a bad CAT, but then I cracked this. Exactly, Omkar. Thank you so much for that information. That exactly corroborates with what I've said before. In fact, there are so many people who have cracked this who have not been able to make it to the IIMs through CAT. 97, 98 percentile, Aditya Gupta will be around 92, 93 marks max. Pranjul Shukla, sir, that is the ideal cutoff for EWS. EWS also will require a 98 plus percentile, my friend. That will be about 93, 94, 95 marks even. Anurag Mishra, Virat Kohli, तेरी percentile केवल पेटीएम ट्रॉफी में आएगी, ये फाइनल पेपर है, इसमें नहीं आएगी. अरे यार, क्यों पर्सनल कमेंट कर रहे हो यार? No point in wasting time in personal comments on this. Response sheet Prakhar should come in 3 days. 12 correct in quant is fantastic, Anand. So yeah, I would say there are other exams like ZAT. There are other exams like TISNET, which has not come in. There are other exams like SNAP, if you have applied to. May I request, or rather may I suggest, Shreya, that you should put in that effort for these exams before thinking of CAT 2022, ideally. PDP is going to start 2 weeks from now, Vimal. What score do you think will fetch 99 percentile for slot 3? Slot 3 will be 92 to 93 or 94 marks max, Pratik. Sharik Singh Baba, 99 percentile in slot 3. I just said that. Sharik Akhtar, sir, DILR 5 correct, quant 7 correct, VAR will be 14 attempt, OBC candidate. See, very difficult, Akhtar, to tell. Please come on to the website, careerlauncher.com/cat. Give your scores and your best and worst expectations. We will then give you a percentile, which will be good enough for you to apply to the other institutes as such. Test forms deadline has not even started, Neha, so there is time still. Non-engineer expert. See, again, there is Preetham. Only some institute give a value for a non-engineer. The rest of them give for everybody. I think, again, it's very, very difficult for us to tell what is a non-engineer. Again, within non-engineers, there's a BCom, BA Political Science, BA Economics, NIFT graduates, etc., etc. So I think let's not get into the details of it. Very difficult to answer that. Yes, Raj, I said very difficult to answer with just the attempts. What I think you need to do is go to our website and give your answers. That is Career Launcher website if you can. Now, I have Aman Sharma asking the same thing. Dushyant, any strategy for other exams? Dushyant, I said this in this session itself in the first few minutes. Please realize this, that every exam is new. Every exam has its own pattern. My simple strategy is write the mock, look at what is giving you, what areas are giving you, figure out where can you improve in each of the sections, work on that areas and write a next mock. 2-3 mocks at least for IFT if you're writing IFT, and some 7-8 mocks for ZAT if you're writing ZAT. Similarly for SNAP also, you can easily do something like 4 to 5 mocks without fail. I think all of you are asking the same question. I've already answered some of these things, guys. Shravan, I'm only one who felt slot 2 VARC was damn difficult. No, Shravan Raj, slot 2 VARC was the most difficult one. That is what I said. Vishesh, no problems. That you will not have a fine problem. Singh Baba, don't worry about that, yaar. Abhi farak nahi padne wala uska. Ayush, itne baar mat likho yaar. Which graduation will be best for CAT engineering or BA English? I passed well this year. Dekho, engineering, you will learn more of math. You will become better of math. BA English, you will become better of English probably. You will still need to crack all the 3 sections. I think take up a graduation which makes you enjoy the next 3 years, then only look at CAT. That's the way I'll tell you. Anshu, Ayush Anshu. अनुराग मिश्रा, ऐसा किसी का नहीं होगा यार, सबका हो जाएगा तो 2 लाख लोगों का तो होगा नहीं ना. Those of you are asking for what the predictions are, guys, I want you to watch the first 15 minutes of this video. In that first 15 minutes, you will get to know what are the scores for each of the percentiles kind of things. Okay, so please be aware of that. Paras, while I'm saying 95 percentile will require 73, 74 marks, it was not extremely difficult over the past few years. The reason why you find it difficult is was quant was difficult. That's all I can say. Okay, Shravan and everybody else who's going to get a slightly lesser percentile than the 99.7 somebody is expecting, please understand that so many other institutes which are available. Don't think that this is the be all and end all of life. It is not that only ABC is the only way you need to go and the rest of them are going to be junk. There are enough millionaires, billionaires from the non-IIM institutes also have done fantastically well in their jobs as well as being entrepreneurs. So don't be don't despair, don't lose heart. I am telling you, you will be surprised with your own CAT performance, whatever else you might think about it. Right now, the scores have not come out. Very few people know what will happen to VARC. It appears easy, but unless you see the real scores, you do not know whether you have cracked the paper or not. So keep your faith, keep the faith in yourself. It will definitely help. Meet Lalwali, I've also talked about ZAT22, write 8 mocks. More importantly, spend time on decision making and and the verbal ability. These are the 2 scoring areas. Absolutely, Aman. Thank you so much for that. No, Ayush, not everybody, not every IIM favors non-engineers. That is in fact not true. 75% of the students in IIMs are engineers still. So Rahul, IFT की LRDI थोड़ा सा आपको calculation intensive होगी. That's the way I would look at it. 95 percentile is more in BARC and DLR, but 30%, 40% in QA. What do you suggest? So Ishan Gaur, what you will get is, you will Lishan Gaur, you will always get some institutes which will not look at the individual cutoffs, but only look at the overall cutoff. There are so many of them. I think you can work towards it. There will be some business advisory session that we will take up, which will kind of give you the information. Sir, CAT didn't go well. I'm a final year student at Nalsar. Should I give it next year, even if I hate math? First, even if you hate math or not math, even when you do an MBA, there will be a lot of quantitative ability, aptitude. There will be a lot of statistics and mathematics. So if you're not at all interested in mathematics and you can't cope up with it, I don't know, you need to recheck your reason for doing an MBA. If you're an Alsar graduate, especially. If you're an Alsar, why are you not taking up, let's say, the job at a law firm somewhere? So think about it. It's not an easy decision for you. But if MBA is, or being a manager or a corporate manager is the way to be, fear or no fear, hate or no hate, you will have to prepare for CAT, and you can start preparing right now. There's a lot of time for you to kind of become better. PGDB course is there, Anurag Mishra, you can join that. There is a very specific online course for that. How to prepare for ZAT quants, it's very hard. Singara, while it is, Ganesh, while it is very hard, the cutoff will also be very, very low, something like 6-7 marks. So don't worry about it. If you can solve 7-8 questions correctly, I think you will be more than done with that. This year, paper review in 1 or 2 lines. Atif, very similar paper, but the cutoffs will reduce than what it was last year, despite the number of questions being less and the time being the same, 2 hours. I think the overall marks required to get the same percentile as compared to the last year will decrease. The marks will decrease, that is. Marks required will be decreasing. What marks would you fetch? You a 99 percentile in that. Again, Aditi, it depends on the number of questions that are there. About 37, 36 marks out of 75 would comfortably get there. I'm slow. How to increase speed for Snap? Apurv, practice like crazy, man. Practice like crazy and you will do that much better. A lot of you are asking the same questions, Prakhar, and again, you said, how do you prepare for this? I've answered this question quite a couple of times already in the same video. You have a, you know what, how much time it is? About 40 minutes. Just go through that. It will help you. Vidya, the career launcher fees will be changing depending on which program you take. It starts with about 10, 15, 20,000 to go to 50, 60,000. But you can choose what you want, what is relevant for you, and we'll be able to help you. Pushkar, you can definitely go for CAT as well as write a GMAT. Sir, I gave IPMAT this year, couldn't clear. Is it advisable if I start preparing for now for 3-4 years? Not required, Ayush. Don't worry about IPMAT. I think somewhere you are more worried about cracking an exam than learning is what I would say. If you improve your vocab, if you improve your grammar, if you improve your reading, similarly the quant and the other sides of it, I think you will automatically crack it. Don't worry about only thinking about preparing for these exams. I think start becoming better in terms of the way you will, learning happens as far as you are concerned. Okay, thanks so much, Abhishek Tyagi. IFT admit card should be out. If it's not out in a day or 2 max, Mukund, most probably tomorrow itself. Thank you so much, Abhishek. So if you're a fresher, Karan, you can start off. If you have the time, if you're not written CAT this year and you want to write it, start your preparation at the earliest. Always having that extra advantage, but make sure that you don't lose your momentum, to make sure the momentum over the next 12 months. That's what I would say. So Tata, that's exactly what I'm saying. Start right now. You can, or finish your exams, whatever that is there to be written. Start up in Jan for you is what I would say. Sectional time limit will be there. There is no sectional time in Saha. Karan, as I said, you can start the preparation if required be right away. Again, Udbhav, you give me another day's time to get the lot of data that we are still gathering. I'll be in a position to say which slot will scale up and which slot will scale down in each of the 3 sections. All the slots will have normalization upward. Right? I think I have answered same questions again and again. Any reading laboratory available for non-CS students in Ahmedabad? I'll have to check me. I have really no idea about the Ahmedabad center right now because I've not been there. But there'll always be a small library where you will find enough books to read up. SCAT results will come on in Jan 7th or Jan 8th. For baby IIMs or CAT 2022. Shravan, don't worry about, first get the baby IIMs. If you know that you can get baby IIMs, then you can try for the CAT and get into the better IIMs if you can. That's the reason I'm saying. First, whatever comes your way, make sure that you kind of give it your best shot. The key will be there, or the response sheet will be out in the next 4 days max, 3 to 4. CL answer key, we can only give it for quant. We are trying to do it tomorrow. DM course will be up tomorrow morning, Ratandeep. Subhanshu, I answered. CAT results will be on Jan 6th or Jan 8th. Boss baby, CAT versus that, both are good depending on which institute you get through, get there. It is section wise, Apurva. So QA cutoff, when you're talking about cutoff, which is 80 percentile kind of things, I believe it will be in the 20-21 range max. That is about 7 questions. Yes, Raktim Paul, you can do that very surely. See, Karan, you don't really require too much, but in a week, 7 to 10 hours is more than sufficient. So I've answered as many questions as possible. I guess I'll take the next 2 questions. 11:15. I think it's pretty late for a CAT day. You have been patiently waiting, all of you. Really appreciate that, and appreciate InsideIIM to kind of call me and wait for me patiently till I finished my engagements with Career Launcher and the slot analysis. It is very, very important. So don't worry about it. So if you have less, I'll just take a couple more questions before I say good night and Shubhratri to all of you. Sir, if we have less academics and normal job profile, but good CAT score, yeah, you can definitely get into that. And cracking an interview is trying to be, selling yourself well. That's the way I look at it. So Pratika, slot 1 DILR was not very easy, but if you could have slot the bar chat question, 4 questions, I think you will be in a position to get that 75-80 percentile too. Somesh, 80 in slot 3 is not bad. It will be a decent score to get an IIM call, but maybe not the top 6. Okay, so with that, let me thank the InsideIIM team once again and wish you guys all the very best. Thank you so much.